it's recording.
Oh. Okay, where were we?
F9 to pause, F10 to stop.
Okay. All right, so we added these product attribute columns, and we need to create a new one for Epic 5 1.4. So we're going to go to File, and then Attributes. And then we'll select the old attribute for Epic 5 and just copy it and rename it Epic 5 1.4. And then I think we're supposed to do this same column heading as in the SRS, so I think this is what it is. But maybe we should check. Oh my gosh, I did not want to open that. Okay. So
Okay. So the SRS has all those already, right?
right.
It's just that in the test procedure it doesn't have it. So
Right.
want to add
We have to do that all of ourselves.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so here is Epic 5
Mm-hmm.
1.4 sec,
Okay.
which stands for security or something.
Okay.
So we'll name our column that same thing. And then
How about for the rest that's not? Doesn't matter. Can you we have to rename that or?
yeah, we might have to rename this Epic 7 1.4 to add the security.
Okay.
Okay, so then you can choose all of these blocks. So if you choose default value true, that means when you create a new object, this column is automatically going to be set to value true. And you can choose any of these you want, but we'll just leave it at true. And then attribute features. So really the only thing you need to worry about is whether you want it to inherit value or not.
Mm-hmm.
So basically that means if you embed an object under another object, so it's at a lower level,
Mm-hmm.
the one at the lower level will have the same value as the one at the higher level. So we can just leave that on.
Okay.
Okay. And then while we're in here, we'll edit this and add security.
So you made all the values true
Mm-hmm.
for now, and then we have to go in there and mess with that next.
Right. Okay, so I'll remove this and then add the new columns back in. So the Epic 7 1.4.
Second.
I'm really confused why. Oh, because this isn't set right. Never seen it do this before. Why we can't choose this attribute. I don't know, it's very odd. And then our Epic 5 column. So usually you can choose the text color by attribute, and you just set it to the same as what the attribute is. I don't know why the Epic 7 one won't let us do that. So I'll remove this, remove this. So now we have our new attribute for Epic 7 and our old attribute for Epic 7.
Okay.
So the first thing we want to do is set the true false values for this column to the same as the past release. Just so we don't have to go through and check every single one manually. We'll just set it the same, and then we'll only have to make changes from the past release. So what we're going to do is create a filter. So all the objects are set to true right now, so we just need to find the ones we're going to set to false.
Okay.
So we're going to do Epic 7 1.2 is equal to false.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then we're just going to select the first one and then go down to the bottom, shift click. So now we've selected all the attributes that need to be false. And then right click and go to properties. And then attributes, and then we're changing Epic 7 1.4. So we'll change this to false. So now when we turn off our filter, the 1.4 column is going to be the same as the 1.2 column.
Okay.
So we'll do that same thing for Epic 5. So select all, properties, attributes, Epic 5, and then change this to false. Okay. So now our 1.4 columns are the same as our 1.2 columns.
Okay.
So the next thing we'll do is create a view, which is basically just going to filter out all the false objects for each product. So we'll only be left with the true objects. So the view you save will look exactly like it is when you save it. So we first want to delete all these columns because we don't want them showing up when we print out our test procedure. And then we'll filter by our product is equal to true. So now we're only going to see the Epic 7. We'll have to change that header. And then we go to View, Save As. And then we want to name the view the same as the product attribute in the SRS also. So Epic 7 1.4 Security. And then we'll make this a public view so anyone can see it.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll do the same thing for Epic 5 1.4. Okay. Okay, so now since I created these views on my account, I want to add you as an administrator for them. So I go to View, Manage Views, and then find the ones I just created. Go to the Access tab, and then I'm going to add you. And then also whenever you create a new view, you need to add Nancy Smith so that she can delete them. And then you add the test leads. So we'll add
All the
Max.
test leads?
Just one of them.
Okay, just Max then, right?
Yeah. What's his name? That.
Max. Yeah.
And then we'll do the same thing for the other one. Okay. So now, when we go into this test procedure, we have our views
Now
for
we can see it.
1.4.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm seeing here that the header is wrong because it's referencing a past release. I don't know why it keeps bumping me down to the bottom of the document. So we decided that we don't need the headers to have the release number in it. So basically we'll just delete that information. So now it's just going to be Epic 7
Okay.
OEM test procedure. So that we won't have to edit this anymore.
Ever again.
Right.
Got it.
And we can delete this because this is Voyager 1.0. It's no longer relevant.
Okay.
Okay, so what do we need to do now? So now we have test procedures for Epic 5 1.4 and Epic 7 1.4 that are going to be the same as for the 1.2 release.
Yep. Right now it's set the same.
And Max says there's no change in requirements.
Yep.
So,
Only thing is there's new printers to add
okay.
since we're still gonna do it that way, right? I guess. Now we were
That's up to
talking-
you. It's, I guess, as a test procedure owner, you can decide whether you want to reference them specifically or just do kind of a fill in the blank and leave it up to the tester which ones they use. Geez, there's a lot.
Yeah, they're like 20.
So we test all of these for every product.
least for this one, yeah.
That seems a little excessive.
We test every single one of those. As long as it works, it goes fairly quick. It's just when it doesn't work, then it could take some time.
That's very excessive.
Would you count 23, 24?
24.
Yeah. That's about right. And then we had 6 more, so it's about 30.
That's crazy.
That's just for the report printers. Not the
I don't
bottom
think we
line.
need to do this. If it was up to me, I would delete all of this section and just create 10 subsections, so you just test 10 printers every time. That's what I would do. Because there's no requirements about this. We're just basically killing ourselves with testing for no reason. But what do you want to do? I mean, we could, if you want, we can just add the new printers now and you can go back and change it later.
Yeah, so at least the new printers we have to add for sure. Maybe we should keep the Xerox because we had problems with that.
Okay.
Where the printer drivers somehow got emitted within, with the build.
Okay.
So it didn't work, so we should probably put some of the new stuff in there.
Did you find out what the new ones were?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll also send you an email.
How do I pause F9?
Yes, definitely.
Okay.
Wait, I think these are new. Let me go ask Max, because some of these look. We can also see it from the list to see if there's any duplicates, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's okay then. We can see
Okay.
it as a header
All right.
for each printer, so we can look to see if there's any duplicates, but I don't think there is. Then I think we'll be okay.
Okay.
Just in case.
Okay, so all the sections for these printers are exactly the same text except for the header.
Exactly, that's it. So we can just kind of copy it.
Yeah, and they're all linked to the same requirement.
Exactly the same requirement.
So what we're gonna
Default,
do?
There's 2 of them.
There's 2
Yeah,
requirements,
that's
right?
it. USB and then the drivers. That's it.
Okay, so we're
That's
just
the
gonna
requirement.
copy and paste the sections.
Yeah.
So we'll select the section, and then we have to right click.
Did you just highlight it, or how'd you do that?
Oh, so just click on the first object you want, and
Yeah.
then shift, and then
Okay,
click
okay.
on the last
Okay,
object.
just like Microsoft stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
So then we want to copy objects with
Are you
hierarchy.
recording?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry.
So we'll copy objects with hierarchy.
Okay.
So that's gonna, if you just do Control C,
Yeah.
it's only gonna copy the highest object instead of all the embedded objects. So we'll do this,
Okay.
and then we want to select the object that's at the same level that we want to paste it at.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll just do that, and then Control V, and then we can just, how many do we need?
6.
So I'm just gonna do Control V 6 times.
That's it. 6.
So now you can see we have, did I do 6? I
Yeah.
only did 5.
Is
Oh
it-
no, I did do
it's
6.
Yeah, I counted you this.
Okay, so we have 6 sections that we just need to change the header on.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll just copy from here.
Yeah, just copy from there.
All right.
Okay. So far it's not too bad.
Yeah.
It's not as bad as I thought.
Yeah, it's not bad.
I still have to recap on what you did. You created the new views by adding that and then making the same by
Mm-hmm.
true and false kind of thing. So that I have to look at it one more time.
And you'll have to do the same exact thing for Mustang 1.4 or
have to do it
the
again.
Mustang security. Yeah, so you have to do the same thing we just did except for with Mustang.
Okay, so this was just for Voyager, but I also have to do Mustang.
Mm-hmm.
So what's Mustang? What is that one now?
So that is
Is that 1.1?
It's the 1.1 security for low tier and high tier.
Okay, so I have to add to that as well.
Yeah, so you'll add 2 columns with these and then create 2 views from those.
Okay.
This is flashing green over here. Does that mean it's recording this screen?
Yes, you're recording. It means you're recording right now.
Okay. All right, so now we added some new objects. And remember when we created the new objects, we said default value is true.
Yes.
So we're just going to add those columns.
Now you're doing the affinity now, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we set the default value to be false for both of these. So we need to set them to true, obviously, so that they'll show up in our view. So I'm just going to do the select the first object and then go down and shift click to select the second object, and then right click properties and then set our 1.4 attributes to true. You have to uncheck inherit value. So set those to true and then set this one to true. And apply. Okay.
So when we created those were false, you said?
Yeah. So we set it so that the inherent value or the default value is always going to be false.
Okay.
And that's just so you don't accidentally add objects to your view that you don't want to be there.
I see. It's better to have false than true, I guess.
Yeah. Okay, so now all of these new sections we just created are going to show up in our 1.4 views. And we'll save this.
And so since we copied, all the links and everything should be all pointing to the same place.
Yeah.
Okay. That's
So
part of the inarchy or whatever you call it, right?
yeah.
Okay.
So now these are all going to link to where we want them to link.
Yeah, same place.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yep, that's it.
Yeah. So now all these new printers are there, and if you so decided that you didn't want to test 30 of these, like say for example you don't want to test this one for the 1.4 release, just go here, change it to false.
Just leave everything there. Don't delete it. Just
Don't delete it.
Okay.
Just change the product column to false because you might need this for a different product.
Got it.
Yeah. So that's one of the things that like you have to
That's good to know.
keep reminding yourself
Yeah.
is that
easy
even
to
when
do.
you're editing for Epic 5 1.4, if you change an object, it changes it for every product. Because every product shares this object.
Okay.
So,
Yeah. I think I saw something of that when I was doing one of the tests.
mhm.
And because of that, it forgot to put it back.
Yeah.
On the newer, what was I testing? Was
I
it
don't
the
know.
JTA or something? You weren't here,
Yeah.
so we had to have somebody change it for us.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. So
Yeah, so that kind of stuff happens all the time.
it was all there. It's just that somehow it got removed from a different product, and now it needs to be back on again.
Huh. Yeah, it happens.
Okay. Cool.
Okay, so now let's say you're done making all of your updates
Yeah.
for Epic.
Yep.
So now we want to create a new baseline.
Okay. So do I have to do this after I create the Mustang as well? Or
So
those are separate.
the baseline applies to the entire test procedure. It's not specific to product.
Okay, so I would have to do the affinity also then? I
Yeah.
should do that
So
first?
I'll just show you how to do the baseline. Do you know how to do the baseline?
I think so. I've done it once.
Okay.
Kind of.
I'll just show you how to do the baseline, but then yeah, you'll have to do it again after you do the Mustang stuff.
To re-baseline it again, right?
Yeah.
Just for the Mustang.
Or else, because the baseline is basically just like saving it. So if you don't re-baseline, none of the Mustang changes you make are going to be saved.
Yeah.
So you just go to File, Baseline, New. It's easy. Select which baseline you want.
It does it for you.
Yeah. And then, so on our description, we'll just say updated for Epic 5 and 7 1.4 security. Oh, I apparently didn't save it, but it'll save it.
You didn't save what now?
Oh, it just told me that I didn't save beforehand, but it saved it for me.
Okay.
All right, so now this is our new baseline. So if we go to the Epic 7 1.4 view, for example,
Yep.
we'll see the header that we changed, and
Yes.
then where was that printer section?
It's toward the bottom. Export, or is that report?
Oh,
printers?
report printers color. So here are our new printers. So they're showing up in our view.
Mhm.
So whoever goes to run it for Epic 7 1.4, this is what they'll see.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. So many of them look so similar.
Mhm.
4530 and there's 4630 we just got. So
I know. They're all pretty much the same printer, just
they are just newer
change the
version.
number by 10 and resell it.